Hello everyone, welcome to Lighthouse Stamping with Lorraine. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Vancouver, Washington. Thank you for joining me today. Well, I have a mess sitting in front of me, sort of. I don't have a mock-up to show you of anything today because I sort of designed what I wanted to do and that's as far as I got. So you get to see me work through my thinking process. I've decided that I want to use Trucking Along, which, matter of fact, I have not even stamped with yet. So you're going to watch me play with that to begin with. I do have the punch. Today I'm not going to be using the punch. The punch is out of stock right now. It was supposed to be back in October. I think it was 16th or 17th, last I heard. I know they're trying to get him back as soon as possible. But to be honest, this is such an easy item to cut out that I don't think it would be a big problem. So we're not going to use the punch today. I just wanted to tell you what was happening with the punch. So I decided I wanted to make a little truck box. And first I was going to make it for a boy. And I pulled out Misty Moonlight, Azure Afternoon. And then I was thinking, why does a truck box have to be for a boy? Why can't it be for a girl? So then I grabbed the Berry Burst and the Bubble Bath. I decided I'm going to go with the Berry Burst and Bubble Bath. So let's see what we can come up with. The only thing I have done is I designed the size of the box. I have not even decided to design the size of the panels for the DSP. But anyhow, I thought I'd use this pretty star paper. So I'll grab out that. The little bubbles would have been nice. This is the Bright and Beautiful 6x6 designer paper, which you've seen me use before. I think it's great for kids. It's great for adults too, though. It's really a pretty paper pack. So, but you could use anything you wanted. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set my cardstock aside. And this is actually an old pack of Whisper White I found that I'm using, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. And do I have any scrap sizes here? Because I have never stamped with these stamps. I want to see what they're going to look like when they're stamped. So let's get out some stamps and let me grab some blocks. Like I said, I designed this and that is as far as I got last night. I was tired and said, oh well. So let's see here. Like I said, the extent is I put the pieces on the block here. Where's our truck? We need him. And this is to color our truck. Now you could do it whatever way you want. And this looks like the wheels. Like I said, I'm really just looking at this for the first time. Now, oh, looks like we have a little bit of roadway we could put in there if we wanted. I'm not going to use any of the gifts or anything. What I really want to put in there is a little happy birthday above the truck. There's no happy birthday in this set. Hang on for a second. I thought there was a happy birthday. Let's see here real quick. Looking at my rack. Circle sayings. Whoop. And the circles are falling off. There's a happy birthday. Let's see here. He'll fit in, but he'll hang over. But that's okay. We use circle sayings. Let me look real quick one more time to see if there's anything smaller. Everybody else is about the same size. Because I do want it to say happy birthday. So we'll just go with that one. So that's the one I found closest. So this, like I said, this video is going to be a little bit of whatever. So let's mount this one on a block because we need him. We are going to need a smaller block here. I think the wheels will fit on this one. Just need the body into one. There is presents here, but I'm not sure I want to use the presents because this is a present itself. So I think we'll just go with the trick right now. And then I think we may want to put a little road underneath of him, which means I probably have to go grab, hang on, I'm looking for a smaller block. Yeah, we'll use the big block. It's really overkill, but, oh, no, here's another one. That's better. So if I'm going to do a road, I guess I need some other ink. So just one moment here. Smoky Slate will work. Sitting on the top of the rack there. So, like I said, this is this piece will work. Maybe even use that for the front. What I was thinking is we'd make the truck and the happy birthday, and then we would just mount that on the top of my front of my box. Sorry, I'm looking through my tub of, I keep all my stuff in there, and it seems like all my blocks are gone AWOL. And let's mount that happy birthday. So you get to see me figure out what I'm going to do as I do it on this one. I've had other people ask me, and sometimes when it's a new stamp set, I'm going to stamp first. So let's try Berry Burst as our background. And like I said, I've not used these before. And I'm actually going to stamp it on here first to see how, oh, very pretty. So let's stamp him here. And I'm thinking, since we're going to have for a girl, you know, who says we have to have a blue or red or green truck? Let's see, how does this line up in here? Oh, pretty good. About like that. Ooh, I like that truck. Now we will be stamping him again here in a minute, but I just want to see how everything works. These are the tires, and they go like this. Well, I think we should have black tires. So let me grab some black. I like to see how everything's stamped before I start actually doing it on my project. Oh, a line that I could have done a little better on that. Or do I want to do the stamping and just color that? Because there's a couple little pieces here that should be lights, and there should be some yellow up here. So I'm going to grab some other colors too. So I know you're getting to see me work through my process here. So what I think I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead and build the box, and then we're going to come back to the decorating now that I know how this looks. This just gives me a rough idea of what I'm looking at when I'm going to put it on something. And so let me clean these off real quick. I am going to grab my Stampin' Right markers. You know, so grab your blends if you wanted. And those couple areas on the truck, I'm not sure I'm going to line up those tires. I think I'm just going to color them real quick. So the question now is, what color do I want the box? And I'm going to make a belly band for this box, I think. So I think we'll make the box bubble bath. It will make the belly band the Berry Burst. So I do know that I need a full sheet of, move my paper here. I need a full sheet. Like I said, I did do this part. I'm just moving a few things so I have some room here. And can get my measurements. See? Measurements. That's all I got. So I'm going to grab my scoreboard. I need a full sheet of paper. Okay. And I'm going to leave that there so you can see it. On the 11-inch side, we're going to score at 2, 4.5, 6.5, and 9. I'm going to do that 9 again. There we go. Then we're going to flip it around, and we are going to score it at 2 and 6.5. Like I said, this is a really simple little box. When it gets done, it should be 4.5 wide long, 2.5 wide, and 2 inches tall. So let's burnish this. Like I said, usually I make a project before and I've already worked out all the details. And last night it was getting late and I had to cook dinner and I just couldn't make up my mind. So I said, I'm just going to do it in the morning. And you could see how I work through it. So there we go. So we're going to grab some scissors. Let's see, I got my little bigger scissors here. So you have you got 5 squares. 1 square is bigger than the other 3. These 2 are bigger. You want to cut on the smaller squares. And so we're going to cut straight up. And we're going to take a little wedge. Just like that. And we're going to do that on both sides, on all of these squares. Yeah, you guys have to let me know what you think about making a box with a pink truck. I could have done blue, but I was like, you know, I like trucks too, and why can't we have a pink truck? Don't think the dealerships are going to give you a pink truck. They might if you pay them enough money. So that's what we're looking at. So now we're going to go ahead and do the other side. And about now, I'm praying that all my measurements were correct when I did this, because I've never put this box together before. You know, you can do it on paper, do your math, but you don't always know if it's going to work or not. Oop, I need to get all the way in there. There we go. I'm sure many of you have looked at something, did math, and then all of a sudden you went to put it together and it just does not work. That's a bigger wedge than I really needed, but that's okay. There we go. Let me get all this out of here. Okay, so this is what it should look like so far. Now I'm going to fold this up to make sure all my measurements worked. Make sure I didn't make a mistake in my math. There. Yep, we're good. Okay, so now I have to decide what's going to be the front and back of my box. And it doesn't really matter at this point, but I want to put paper on this one, this one, this one, and this one, and the top, of course, because that's what people are going to see as the top of the box. So it's time to do some measuring and some writing. Okay, so this is 4.5, so I'll go quarter, so we'll say that's 4 1/4. So we know that's going to be 4 1/4. I write the right thing down, 4 1/4. So we know that's on 3 of these is 4 1/4. And this one is 2 inches, so we'll make that 1 3/4. And we know that one's going to be the same. Should be. Double check, yep. So we need 2 of those. Quantity 2. This one is 2.5, so we need that to be 2 1/4. So that's those 2 pieces. Then we need the 2 pieces here. So we know that this is 2 1/4 this direction, and this should be 2 inches, so it's going to be 1 3/4, and there's a quantity of 2. So that's what we need to cut our DSP to measure. This is how I work out things, and so people have asked me, and so I thought I'd let you know. And also last week I showed you that I got the new cut and emboss machine, and I asked you what you thought for a name, and so I'm still taking people's considerations in. I said that you could, there was Grumpy Old Man, or Otto, and so if you have a preference, please get it in there and vote and let me know what you like. So far, Otto's winning. And next week we will officially know a name. So we know that 3 of my pieces are 4 1/4. So this is 6 by 6. Let's take 4 1/4. And we'll cut that and set that aside. So we know that one has to be 2 1/4. There's one piece. That's for the inside. Now I'm just going over here. I don't have enough camera. I'm just setting them where I cut them, from where I'm cutting them. The next one, we know that there is 2 of them that need to be 1 3/4. I don't even know how many pieces of paper we're going to need to do this, but we'll find out in a minute. There's 1 3/4. And 1 3/4. That's so far so good. That's one piece of paper. Well, I'm not sure if we can get the other piece out of this or not. It's 1 3/4. Oh, guess what? That's 1 3/4. So it needs to be 1 3/4, but we need the other side to be 2 1/4. Here's 2 1/4, or 2 1/4, I should say. So there's those 2 pieces. So you could get all the pieces out of a 6 by 6 piece of paper for this box. Like I said, I did not know how many pieces. That's why I wrapped all of them of this color, because I didn't know how many it was going to take. So I'm going to set the rest of these back over here out of the way. So let's mount those on. Now I'm going to use my glue. So all these dimensions, you don't need to write them down. I will get them in the description before I post the video. So we're going to put these in here like this. Now, I said I'd put a belly band on this, but you know, we could use ribbon. I'll have to think about this. Do we want to use belly band, or we do want to use a ribbon? I do want to use some Berry Burst cardstock, but we could put a border on our piece of white, as long as we kept it small enough. See, I'm just thinking outside of my head. I don't know what this box is going to look like when we're done, which is sort of fun. And I just discovered that I was over just slightly there. Hang on for just one moment. I went off. There we go. A little too much piece of the score area was sticking out. And this one. And this is a flip top box, which are really nice to make. So before I go any further, I am going to put a little hole here so we can open this up. Now, I just grabbed my retired 1/2 inch circle punch. I'm sure many of you could use 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch. You don't need much, but just, and you could use an oval. And I'm just going to eyeball this in the center and punch a little finger hole. Like I said, not even half. So So I know many of you have all these little punches just like I do. So now we're going to go ahead and flip this over, and we're going to put the bottom together first. And you can use tear and tape or Seal Plus, whichever you prefer. Now, this is going to be rather thick, but I want a good sturdy box, so I'm not going to cut it. But if you didn't want to overlap, you could trim these down. But I'm going to leave them, because I don't mind the bulk, because I happen to know what's going to go in this box. And a little extra security never hurt. Okay. You see what I'm talking about here? I left, can you see right there? I left. And what it does do, if you don't get that cut out right, the box just doesn't close real cleanly. And so it's easier to cut it out before you put glue on. I'm going to flip that one in. And I know gluing does take a little longer, but I do like the strength glue adds to your 3D projects. And I'll let that dry, and we'll put the lid. So we're doing the top part over here, just like that. Make sure I have nice upright corners, nice 90-degree angles. And this side. And once again, hang on, I was very sloppy on cutting this one. I cut this one out too. Sometimes I do that. But you can always fix it, like I'm doing. Okay, so this should all close just like that. Very nice. Okay, let's decorate this box. So I know we don't need a very big piece. Need about 1.5 inches by 2.5. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp this on this other piece of white that I had. I am going to grab, what I do need to do is make sure my glue is finished setting. I'm going to grab a couple markers and some ribbon. Okay. So I haven't decided if I want to do a belly band or if I want to do ribbon yet. Or neither. What I'm looking for is my black pin. Now, I don't have a big case where I store all my stuff into because I don't have room for it. And there is my basic black. And let's grab a lemon lolly to do my, and some, who's this? Crushed curry might work for the lights. So would Daffodil. I'll grab those 3. So I keep mine in a little box like this. And so everybody's on their side, which they always should be stored on their side. Because, and I store a lot of my stuff in these tubs because I have vertical space. But horizontal space is very, very limited in my room. So we make do with what we have. which when I like to craft in other rooms makes it really easy because I just pick it up and move it. Okay, so we want to keep this pretty close to the bottom. We know we don't want too big because it's got to go on the box. So let's grab our boundary again. And I'm doing this because I did mess those wheels up. The wheels are okay, but I didn't line them up too well. So we're doing another option. So let's stamp this here. I guess I could try the wheels one more time. Not give up so easily. And the body of our truck, which I will try. We have more paper. Line that up. Do like that pink truck. And let me grab the wheels real fast. Now I may get my head in there if I'm doing this, but we won't give up that easy. And you know what? Sometimes, truly, I'm switching blocks. Sometimes when you're trying to line something up, I'm gonna let this sit and relax for just a second. When you're trying to line something up, a small block is not your friend. You want to have a block that is closer, bigger, so you can look through it easier. And that's what I wasn't doing. Let's hope I did better. Much better, bigger block. It does make a difference. I'm gonna pull that off, and I'm gonna put my ground back on that bigger block. Because we just can't have our truck just out there. So let's see here. This looks like possible tire tracks. I want to see what it looks like. I always like to see what my stamps look like before I stamp them on the project. Oh, very nice. We'll do that there, and then we'll put another one right up to the tires here. We're going to cut part of it off, but that's okay. So I do need some yellow for the lights. I think I'm going to use Daffodil. I'm going to use the small end because they need to be colored. And you know, should we have something through the window so it doesn't look so plain? I did miss a small area right here on my wheel. So I'm just going to darken that up. Do we need some blue? I think we need some blue. Oops, wrong tub. Let's see, pool party maybe? Something light. Definitely not Tunisian Tide. Let's go with Balmy Blue. Pool party's in there somewhere, but we'll just put a little Balmy Blue in here. In the windows. You switch ends now. And you could do the blends, but I'm just using the Stampin' Right markers today. Little blue in there. And those tires look pretty plain, don't they? Sorry. This is what happens when I design. I just keep going until I'm happy with all the colors I use. I grabbed Smoky Slate. Not as dark. Look more like chrome wheels on the truck. So that's our truck. And I do want to do happy birthday, and I think we should do that. And I want it hanging off the back of the truck like that. So I'm going to use Berry Burst on that. I really want you guys to tell me what you think about me stamping and just having a rough design idea in my head. There we go. Happy birthday. So now I will leave the colors out I used. So I make sure they end up in the product description. Like I said, since I'm doing this on the fly here. So we need to trim this down, and we have to decide if we want to put this a background of there, or we want a belly band, or do we want some ribbon? I'm thinking ribbon, since this is for a girl. And we do have this ribbon here. This is the sheer ribbon combo pack. And there's a bubble bath right there. I think that will work very nicely. Or, you know, we could bring in some yellow into this too. No, I'm gonna stick with the pink. Yeah, if I was able to go live, you guys could all tell me what color to use, but I can't do that. So I want to cut this as small as I can to go on this box, because I want to put a border of Berry Burst on it. So we're going to start here. Let's actually start on this side. And I'm going to cut this down. This is how I figure out dimensions sometimes. I just start cutting until I get what I want. That looks pretty even. All right, what have we got here? 2 1/4, not enough. That ended up being 1 3/8 by not a good number. Need to take a little more off. I need a good number that I can easily make a border for this. 2 7/8. Okay, so let me jot these down. It's 2 7/8. What did I say that was? 1 3/8. So we need some paper. If I want a 1/4 inch border, that means I need 3 1/8 and 1 5/8. Yeah, that will give me a nice little border to go around that on our box. And I want to use this, and look at this. I have a small scrap here. So I said that was 3 1/8. By 1 5/8. Okay, let's bring them back in. See if my measurements are right. Oh, that looks pretty good. So let's glue that on there. I know this video is taking a little longer because it just is. Because I'm winging it. Like I said, I had the size of the box and that was about it. And I wanted to use the truck. So there's that. Now we'll pop that up on dimensionals. And I think we'll use a little ribbon. The question is, do I want to go this way or this way with the ribbon? I think I want to go long ways. leave enough to tie a nice little bow. Yeah, I thought when I started I was going to go with the belly band, but I think the ribbon looks nice. And I'll trim that one off just a little bit. I'm going to leave the bow on its side like that. And then we're going to put this on with dimensionals. What little girl wouldn't love to get this? I would. Full size, please. And I'm putting the dimensionals on either side so that the ribbon runs through the middle. Okay. That looks pretty good. So far, so good. But you know, it's for a girl. It needs bling. I don't know which kind of bling we're going to use. So, let me see. Iridescent rhinestones might work. No. 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 I think we're going to go with iridescent rhinestones. They show off everything. They show up the colors around it. Now, we got some big ones and some little ones here, and some medium size. We don't want to go too big. So I'm thinking, how about one of each? And we're going to put them. That's way too big. Sorry, can't have that one. We won't do one of each. They're too big. So we'll just put a couple here. We'll use some little ones. Just like that, to bling it up a little bit. So that is my little girl's truck box, or a big girl. You know, big girls like little presents too. Or if you want this for a boy, change it to one of the darker blues or greens or whatever. But I thought it was fun. Thank you for joining me today. Let me know if you like me just doing a rough idea of what I'm going to make and just going for it. I don't do it very often, but so let me know if you like me stamping on the fly or crafting on the fly or not. And I will see you next week. I have absolutely no idea what I'm going to do next week, other than I do know that I'm expecting some packages from Stampin' Up. And they should be arriving this afternoon and tomorrow, and there's 3 packages, and Sunday. They're not all coming at one time. Who knows? But this weekend. So heaven knows what I'm going to do next week. I will see you then, and have a nice weekend. Goodbye.